Disclaimer, gambling involves risk. Please only gamble with funds that you can comfortably afford to lose. All bets mentioned on the show are simply opinion. We cannot be held responsible for any loss that may be incurred as a result of gambling. Be sure to set loss limits and stick to them. Make sure to read and understand your state's gambling laws and adhere to them.
A lot of gamblers out there, man.
What else can we bet on?
The thrill of victory.
Let's get ready to
gamble responsibly.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Big Bet Energy. As always, I'm your host, Ace. Let's get into the show. All right, first things first, let's get into how the show works. Here on Big Bet Energy, I'm going to give you my 7 best picks for the week. It's going to start with a Thursday night football parlay. Then we're going to get 3 college football picks and 3 NFL picks. Those are just going to be money line, spread, and under over on points. The only one that's going to be a straight parlay is going to be the Thursday night. The parlay itself is the pick. Now, we run a promo on the show. If I hit all 7 picks from an episode, then one random commenter on the episode I hit all 7 gets $100 free. Not promo money, not money towards an app, just straight up $100 that we send you. All you have to do is leave a comment below. So let's talk about last week. Last week, Thursday Night Football, we got close, but we didn't hit. But then we went on, we got 1 of our college picks and then all 3 NFL picks on Sunday. So we ended up getting 4 of 7 picks. That's pretty good. We still ended up money at the end. We did not lose money last week. And overall, if you've been tailing from the time I took over this show, we are still up money. So we are still looking good. But we still want to hit that elusive 7 for 7. Integrity is the name of the game. So up on the screen, we will show how many picks I have hit in total on the show of my 7 picks. And with that, let's get into the Thursday night football parlay. This week, we have the Ravens taking on the Dolphins. These are 2 teams that are very down this year. People had high hopes and they have not lived up to it. But we do get Lamar Jackson back after a few weeks being injured. Tua lit it up last week and he's looking better. Jalen Waddle's been finding the end zone, so it should at least be a fun game. The first player prop that we're going to take, though, is going to be Derrick Henry over his rush yards. Whether you're on Draftkings or FanDuel, that's going to be about 90. It's going to be 89.5 or 90 yards, which just means if he hits 90, 91, you hit. If he hits 90, you push on DraftKings. They just insist on these intervals of 10. I don't understand it. He started off very good this season. Game 1, he killed it. Then he went into a lull, especially once Lamar Jackson went out. He had 1 or 2 games down. But now, 2 weeks ago, he had 122 yards. Last week, he had over 70 yards. This week, he goes against the worst rush defense that he's been against in a while in the Dolphins. So I think this is a reasonable line. He should hit it. The second player prop we're going to talk about is the guy I mentioned earlier, Tua Tagovailoa, over passing yards. That passing yards either going to be 220 or 216.5. But remember, we're going towards a parlay. So whichever parlay is better, that's probably going to be the one that we're going with. But this week, he's going against the Ravens defense that is just bad in the pass game. They are not able to stop passers. They've looked porous. They've had injuries in the secondary. And especially once they get down because their offense hasn't been producing, they've been getting lit up. So I think that Tua should be able to hit this line. It's a pretty low line this week because he has been in a huge slump. Last week, he scored a lot of points. He looked good. So I'm hoping that he's able to carry that in, especially against a slump buster defense in the Ravens. So we should be able to hit that. Now, if you do both, you're doing our parlay, which is going to be the first pick of 7 for the show. That parlay, if you're on DraftKings, is going to be a plus 256. If you're on FanDuel, it's going to be a plus 241. Obviously, we want more money. It's not that much difference in the statistics. You need 1 more yard for Derrick Henry and you need 4 more yards for Tua. So why not take the DraftKings, get a little bit more money? And with that, we're feeling real good going into Thursday. I think we should be able to hit this one. It feels very reasonable. I'm not doing anything insane. And we should be able to over double our money. So I like that. That is our first pick. Moving chronologically, we move over to the weekend with college football. This week for college football, I wanted to focus on some games with some big names. So the first one is going to be the team that is #1 in the country, but people aren't paying that much attention to because they're just killing everybody that they're playing. Ohio State. Ohio State is playing a Penn State team that did not have a dead cat bounce after they fired Franklin. So Ohio State should absolutely rout them. The line is at 20.5. I think that they're going to cover the spread. I think Ohio State should absolutely blow the doors off of Penn State. It shouldn't be a game. And Ohio State has not been getting the national recognition that they deserve other than being ranked #1. They just don't get talked about enough. So I think this is going to be a statement game. They're going to put up points and they're not going to take their foot off the gas pedal. The second game I want to talk to is another school that has a point to prove, Texas Tech. I have Texas Tech covering the spread against Kansas State. Texas Tech is an absolute powerhouse this year. They had a misstep against Arizona State. Arizona State played them well, and they had a really bad game. So I think that going into this, it's a statement. They dropped down in the rankings. They wanted to be a top 10 team. They finally got there, and now they're out. So they want to make it back. They're going against a Kansas State team that has been absolutely inconsistent this year. I think that they should rout them. And the fact that it's only a 7.5 point line, I think is low. The sports books are going off the fact that Texas Tech lost to Arizona State. So they're thinking that they're going to have a better matchup against Kansas State. But Kansas State's defense is not good. Texas Tech's offense, even though Their backup quarterback went out. Baron Morton is back this week. I think they're going to put up points, especially because their run game is so stout. So this week I expect this could hit the over, but I'm just going to go with the spread because I think it's not reasonable. Like Texas Tech should blow this out. A 7.5 point spread. They should win by about 21 points. And the last one, I love an upset and I am horns down all day. I am going Vanderbilt money line against University of Texas at Austin. Diego Pavia is playing Heisman ball this year. They're putting up points, and University of Texas just gave up 38 points last week. So this is not unreasonable. I think that Vanderbilt is coming in. They're an underdog. They're only a 2.5 point to 1.5 point underdog, depending on what you're looking at. But I think they should be favorited. I understand that University of Texas defense has looked very good, but they have also shown that they have weaknesses, while as Vanderbilt has shown that their offense is fire. So I think this should be a fairly close game. I would give Vanderbilt the edge, which means that I would take the money line because you're also getting plus odds on this one. I would take the money line on FanDuel because it's a plus 114 odd. You're getting over double your money back if they pull it off. Also, horns down all day, baby. Let's do it. Now we move on to Sunday. Let's talk about the NFL. We went 3-4-3 last week. I'm going to be totally honest. I wasn't doing super well on NFL picks, so I have a best friend who sits there. He's a physical therapist, and at lunch he goes, and I text him the day I record, and I say, give me your 3 picks, and he just shoots them at me. He's like, these are my 3, and I just started doing that because I didn't feel super confident in myself after I was like not good for 2 weeks, and he's absolutely killing it. He gave me all 3 picks last week. We went 3 for 3. He just kind of goes with his gut. And let's do it, man. We got numbers, research, and vibes. And if vibes are going to get us the dub, let's do it. So this week, the first vibe that he caught was the Bengals-Bears over total points. The first vibe that he caught was the Bengals-Bears over total points. Caleb Williams, he hasn't looked that great in the last few weeks. He's been losing close games. People are starting to say, do we have a Caleb Williams problem? Do we need to start talking about it? Is he just another Justin Fields? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be, an amazing quarterback that goes into the Hall of Fame someday up with the conversation of Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, but I think he's going to be a decent franchise quarterback for the next 10 years. So is he going to be able to put up points against a Bengals defense that looks absolutely terrible and made Justin Fields and Brees Hall look great? Yeah, he should be able to. Also, the Bears defense is not playing that great. So the Bengals with Joe Flacco, they're starting to get their gears turning. They're putting up points. This should be a pretty high scoring game. For it to be at 51.5, that's one of the higher games in the NFL this week. But both defenses are so bad that we should still hit that. The second vibe that my man caught was the 49ers to cover the spread. The 49ers are a 2.5 point favorite this week. The Giants just lost Cam Scatterbo. They then lost the game. They looked out of sorts. The refs were kind of against them, so that doesn't help you. I think the 49ers right now are starting to get things turning. They're looking better. They got Kittle back. Purdy's coming back. I think that if we're looking at these two teams, one's going down, one's coming up. So I believe that the 49ers should be a 3-point favorite. They should win this game by more than 2.5 points. And the last game that we have is going to be the Packers versus the Panthers, and we're taking the over on points. The Packers offense has looked very good, to my dismay. I hate them. FTP, if you know what that means, repeat it back. But the Packers offense has looked very good. Josh Jacobs is playing like a man possessed. Jordan Love has made good throws, and he has time in the pocket. Going up against a Panthers defense that's decent, but not great. They've been doing well against defenses that are stout, other than the Cleveland Browns. The Packers should be able to put up some points this week. Put that with the fact that Bryce Young is going to be launching the ball all day. He should have tons of passing attempts because they're going to be playing from down. This should be able to hit over 44.5 because that's not a very high over. I could see the Packers putting up 30 points themselves. So for the Panthers to just pick up the slack, it shouldn't be that hard. We should be able to hit and go 3 for 3 again on the NFL. Now, all you got to worry about is the college picks and the Thursday Night Football, because that's all your boy. But like I said earlier, if all 7 of these do happen to hit this week, then one lucky commenter on this video will get $100. I say it all the time. That is the easiest bet that I give you on this show. You just throw a comment on for free, diss me, talk trash, fade me. I don't care. If I happen to hit all 7, you could still get $100. Doesn't bother me, man. With that, I'm having fun. You're having fun. Let's keep having fun together. Let me know in the comments which pick you think is going to bust our 7 for 7. Let me know if you think we're hitting 7 for 7. I'll see you next week, and we're going to keep having fun.